Heidi, what's the meaning of these divorce papers? And it looks like you've taken all your things out of here too. Message me back. Don't ignore me. I don't understand why you went and got divorce papers. I thought things were going so well. At least explain the reason to me.
God, you're annoying. You've got the divorce papers, right? That's all I have to say to you. Don't try to contact me anymore.
Hold on a second here. You can't just give me divorce papers without telling me why. That's crazy. What happened? You can't just leave me like this with no explanation. I can't accept that. If I did something wrong, give me a chance to apologize. I'll change if you want me to. At least tell me what happened. What's the reason?
If you don't know at this point in time, you're impossible.
I honestly have no idea. Please tell me what I did.
I can't believe this. The wedding invitation?
Huh?
Really? I tell you the main reason and you still act like you don't know?
I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Mark, it's sitting right there on your desk, isn't it?
On my desk?
I don't know if you put it there on purpose or if you just forgot to hide it from me. I'm your wife, yet you plan on marrying someone else? You already have the wedding planned? You're horrible.
Hold on here. Are you talking about the wedding invitation with the rose on the front?
Yeah, so now you know which I mean, huh?
It's not what you think.
Don't give me that. How could it not be?
That's a wedding invitation from my old high school friend. It was addressed to me. It's not my wedding.
What?
Yeah, in the same grade as me, there was a person with the same name as me.
Yeah, right. Don't give me that. I went to the same high school as you. There was nobody else with the same first and last name as you. I would have remembered that.
At that time, he had a different last name than me. But when he was in university, his parents got divorced. Because his father had done some really bad things, the guy changed his name to take his mother's last name. He didn't want to be associated with his father anymore. That's why he has the same last name as me now. His mother's maiden name is Smith, too. It's not an uncommon name.
That is the worst excuse I've ever heard.
It's true.
I guess it would be hard coming up with a better excuse, huh? I saw that wedding invitation, and it was clearly your name. And don't bother trying to destroy the evidence either. I took pictures of that wedding invitation from all angles just in case you try to say it didn't exist.
If you still don't believe me, why don't you just call that person and ask him yourself? You can hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, right. That person is a friend of yours, isn't he? If I call him to check, he'd just tell me whatever you told him to tell me. If you think I'm gonna be fooled by that, you're sadly mistaken.
I understand. This is an extremely unusual situation. But Mark Smith is not a rare name by any means. Why don't you believe me that someone else has that name? It's the truth. There's nothing else I can say.
You're disgusting. Anyway, just sign those divorce papers and hand them in ASAP.
Please, I'm begging you. Let's just meet up and talk about this.
Just be thankful I'm not trying to take anything from you in the divorce.
But what about you? How are you going to survive without me? If you divorce me, your parents aren't going to support you, are they?
Don't worry about me. I've got lots of people who will help me out.
Heidi, please, just wait.
I'm blocking you. Mark, it's been a long time, huh?
Heidi?
It's been about 3 years, hasn't it? Have you been doing well?
Well, I'm doing fine, I guess. Do you want something?
Well, about that wedding invitation and the whole reason I divorced you. About 2 weeks ago, we had our high school reunion. I didn't see you there. Anyway, at the reunion, I told one of my old classmates about the wedding invitation I found on your desk. And well, they told me they got invited to that person's wedding too. You know, the guy with the exact same name as you. They explained everything to me. That guy really does exist. And I found out that you were telling the truth all along.
Let me guess, that classmate you spoke to about this was Dan Wright, wasn't it? He called me after the reunion and told me he spoke to you and cleared up all that stuff about the wedding invitation.
That's right, it was Dan. I was so worried about how I'd bring up the topic to you again after so long. And I'm so glad you understand. I'm coming back to you right away.
What? Why?
Huh?
You blocked me, so I couldn't contact you and tell you, but I submitted the divorce papers years ago.
Well, yeah, I know that.
So what do you mean you're coming back to me? We're divorced.
Well, because the reason for the divorce was just a misunderstanding, I figured we can reconcile and everything can return to normal now, right? We just need to sign a new marriage certificate and everything's back to the way it was.
You don't seriously believe that, do you?
Huh? Did I say something strange or something?
If it was a couple's quarrel that lasted a few days, I could understand forgetting about it. But you completely divorced me 3 years ago. It's not gonna be that simple.
But it was just a simple misunderstanding, right?
Come on. If it was just a simple misunderstanding, why did you up and divorce me over it? You're horrible. You wouldn't believe anything I said to you. There was an easy way to verify if what I was saying was true or not. But you refused to check and just assumed I was a liar. You said terrible things about me and just disappeared. Then you come back after all this time and think everything will just be fine?
Well, yeah, but that was...
You know what? It's been 3 whole years since then. Do you think I just let it go and forget about it? And do you think I have no idea what's been going on this whole time?
What are you talking about?
I know why you ignored everything I said back then and never tried to verify any of it.
What do you mean?
You did it because you wanted to run off and be with your lover. You saw that wedding invitation and thought it would be the perfect opportunity for you to leave me.
What?
You thought if you left me over that invitation that I'd have no reason to think you were cheating.
How dare you accuse me of something like that?
Like I told you, I spoke to Dan Wright too, way before the reunion a couple weeks ago. A lot of people know him and you. A lot of our old classmates still talk to each other. Some of them knew you quite well, and news travels fast. That includes what you've been up to. It was about a year after you divorced me, if I recall correctly. Dan Wright knew some stuff about you, and he was nice enough to inform me of all of it. I was in utter amazement at what he told me.
What did you hear?
I heard that after you divorced me, you tried your best to get your lover to marry you. But he had no interest in that because he was already married. So you lost your temper and approached his wife and demanded her to divorce him. Because of that, she obviously knew you were sleeping with her husband. So she sued you for compensation money for sleeping with her husband and ultimately destroying her marriage.
No, that's not how it happened.
And your so-called lover was the guy you were seeing before you met me, your old boyfriend. I heard about him. He's another guy from our high school, just 2 years older than us, right?
Hold on a minute here.
What?
Don't go saying all these bad things about me. You can't attack me like this.
Attack? I'm not attacking you. And what part isn't true?
You're just taking everything Dan told you as fact. It doesn't feel like you're even trying to listen to my side of the story.
That's not true. I'm just telling you everything I know from the proof that I've gathered. What Dan told me way back then only triggered me to start my own investigation.
Well,
I'm only saying what I know is true. I have proof of all of this. And maybe it doesn't matter now, but I'll tell you anyway. After you divorced me, I was devastated. You broke my heart and destroyed my life. I honestly thought that wedding invitation was the reason for all of it. I thought I must have been a horrible husband for you to leave me over such a simple thing as that. I started to doubt myself as a person, and my whole life started collapsing in on me. The more I thought about it, the worse it got. I just went deeper and deeper into this hole. I didn't even know who I was anymore. I thought it was the end of the line for me. I'd hit rock bottom. Honestly, I almost didn't make it through. That's when I heard from Dan that you had been cheating on me. I think it was the shock of realizing I hadn't even noticed you'd been cheating on me, and the realization that you had just used that wedding invitation as an excuse to leave me that made me finally realize that maybe I wasn't to blame. And that's what sparked me to look into this further. So I used my connections and followed some leads, and that's how I ended up knowing all of this about you. What all that means is, I'm not saying anything about you that isn't true. I'm not attacking you. I'm just speaking the truth. If you've got something to say about it now, go ahead.
Well, just one thing.
What?
I'm sorry for cheating on you. I just got caught up in it all back then. I know what I did was wrong. But ever since I broke up with that guy, it's been bad for me too. Just like you said, his wife sued me for compensation money for sleeping with her husband for so long. I was in a lot of debt, but I finally paid it all off. I'm debt-free now. The past few years have been hell for me too, but I survived, and I believe you've always been the one for me. I fought through all of this for you.
And...
So Mark, give me another chance.
Another chance.
This time I'll be a good wife. If anything comes up again, we'll discuss it like adults. I promise. I'm begging you.
No.
What? But why? How can you turn me down so quickly? I thought we loved each other before. At least think about it a little. Let's at least give it a try.
I'm not interested. Besides, I'm already married.
Huh? You're married? How can that be? We've only been apart 3 years. There's no way you can meet someone new and get married that quick. Unless you must have been cheating on me back then.
Oh my god, look who's talking. Anyway, the person I'm with was almost like an arranged marriage.
An arranged marriage?
Well, not exactly, but much more like a blind date. It's hard to explain. After we got divorced and my life went to pieces, my aunt couldn't stand to see me like that. She forced me to meet someone she thought would be perfect for me. When my aunt introduced me to that woman, she saw what terrible shape I was in. I don't know if it was love or not, but when she saw the state I was in, she immediately wanted to help me. She stayed by my side, helping me and supporting me the whole time. She helped me get back on my feet. She's such an amazing and caring person. How could I not fall in love with her?
What is this?
So what I'm saying is, I have no urge to get back together with you, ever.
But you can't do this to me. I've realized that I still love you. I can love and support you too. So that's why I'm going to head over to your house right now.
No, I don't want you causing any trouble for the people living there.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I've already changed jobs and moved away. I don't know who lives in my old house, but it's not me.
You're lying.
And anyway, the only reason you want to get back together with me is because you want to steal all the money I've saved up while I was single, so you can use it to pay off your debts, right? I know how you think. I know that's the only reason you'd want to get back together with me.
Debt? But my debt is already...
The debt you got from sleeping with that married man. I know you worked 2 jobs day and night to pay that off, but right after you paid that off, you started going to host clubs looking for a man. You racked up a huge debt by continually going there to try and win over guys you liked. You not only spent exorbitant amounts of money at the clubs, but you lavished the guys with expensive gifts too. How much are you in debt now? $10,000, $20,000. Am I right?
Hold on.
Am I wrong?
How could you possibly know that?
Dan right.
He told you that too?
Yeah. Dan owns a host club, didn't you know?
You're kidding.
He knows all about your obsession for host clubs and the guys there. There aren't many host clubs around, so all the owners know about you. So anyway, good luck with continuing to try to pay off your debts.
I can't believe this.
After that, I did what I completely forgot to do after Heidi left me 3 years ago, which was block her number. Dan still occasionally messages me and tells me how Heidi is doing. She still hasn't stopped going to host clubs. She works day and night to pay off her debts. Then, when it's finally paid off, she goes right back to the host clubs and racks up another insane debt. It's a vicious cycle I don't think she'll ever get out of. Honestly, I was considering going after Heidi and trying to get compensation money from her too. But with my current state and the way things are going for me, it's not worth it. I think I'll be much happier if I never have to deal with her ever again. Besides, my wife told me that she's pregnant, so I want to put all my thoughts and efforts into my family. They're the most important things to me now. I don't want any unneeded stress in my life. I only want to think about my family. And I know that we're going to live in happiness from here on out.
Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button. See you next time.